fraud. Investigators say Carr filed fraudulent campaign finance reports and misappropriated the funds from it for her personal use. She resigned from the school board in the summer of 2024. Carr is due back in court for a restitution hearing in March. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Teachers say Milwaukee Public Schools' new literacy plan is overwhelming and confusing. At an MPS committee meeting on Thursday, educators reported minimal training, unclear guidance, and competing demands on classroom time. MPS bilingual teacher Gloria Mar Melendez.
There's not enough time in the day to do everything that we're required to do. As bilingual educators, we need to teach English, Spanish, math, health, social studies, technology, second step, and what time? It's overwhelming.
MPS says the plan provides training and aims to get all students reading at grade level. American skier Lindsey Vonn is recovering in the hospital after breaking her leg in the women's downhill race at the Olympics. Chief Health Policy Advisor for Milwaukee County, Dr. Ben Weston, says Vonn also had a torn ACL. He tells Wisconsin's Midday News.
I would not want to be skiing with a torn ACL. You're just missing that extra support in your knee with what I can only imagine is an incredible amount of strain and pressure on it. Now, I also understand kind of your last go at the Olympics. You came out of retirement to do it, so maybe, I guess, give it a shot. With a torn ACL does put you at increased risk. You just don't have the support in that joint that you're used to having.
Vonn has not said if she will return to the Olympics. Sports traffic and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 8:03.
Vince Vitrano here with your HVAC guy, Urban Heating and Cooling. How much longer does that furnace have? Question to ask my man Ryan. His family-owned business with his wife Ellie, based in Franklin. They serve all of southeast Wisconsin. Now, what Ryan most wants to do is help you get as much life out of that furnace that you've already got. But when you have him in for a tune-up, now he can give you an honest assessment on how much longer that older unit will hold out. Free estimate is always part of the deal, so you know it will fit your budget. Tell him Vinny sent you when you call urbanheatingandcooling.com.
What does meaningful giving really look like? Join Annex Wealth Management for our Women in Wealth series, Giving from the Heart, where purpose meets tax planning, on February 19th in Brookfield. Enjoy dinner, refreshments, and an engaging evening on giving with intention. Hear from a local panel of nonprofit leaders as they explore today's philanthropic trends, smart charitable strategies, and how your giving can reflect your values and legacy.
Hi, I'm Maggie Tate-Techman, Executive Director at Haws. I hope to see you on February 19th. Reserve your spot on the events page at annexwealth.com.
With the help of Less's Glass, you can have the shower you've always wanted. Heavy glass shower enclosures from Less's Glass are installed by the best in the business. And when you have a showroom to visit with over a dozen glass shower enclosures on display, there's no guessing games. See the ultimate in frameless shower design with doors mounted on smooth as silk, stainless steel barn-style rollers. This design combines the beauty and elegance of heavy glass with a minimalist look to create an ideal shower enclosure for tight spaces. Premium shower doors and custom-designed all-glass enclosures. When you work with Less's Glass, you're working with a company that really can do it all. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Grubela offices. One call, that's all sports desk. The Bucks enter the All-Star break winning 5 of their last 6 games, including Thursday night's victory over the defending champion, the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're back at it Friday in New Orleans to face the Pelicans. Badger basketball defeated Michigan State on Friday, winning 92-71. Their next matchup is in Ohio State on Tuesday at 7:30. Badger Sports Updates are sponsored by Siding Unlimited, Siding, and a whole lot more. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic. No major issues, no major delays, and full freeway speeds across the system this morning.
Traffic is sponsored by St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores. Highway 100 and Layton Avenue in Greenfield. 23rd and Lincoln and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee. Great bargains and a great cause. You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
Here is your WTMJ forecast. Today, mostly sunny and mild with a high of 51 near the lake and 56 inland. Monday, mostly sunny and mild with a high of 57. Tuesday, increasing clouds with a chance of rain showers at night and a high of 50. Right now in Madison, it is 32. In Green Bay, it's 30. In Waukesha, 35. And in Milwaukee, 35 degrees. I'm Nasir Spencer, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:07.
This is Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins.
And it is going to be a beautiful day throughout southeastern Wisconsin today. I mean, it kind of makes you start to feel like this is really going to be spring, isn't it? So what do you do in spring? Well, of course, you start thinking about planting things around the house. You're thinking of sprucing up that yard, but you're also thinking of sprucing up the house. Well, we've got some suggestions for you if you're looking at doing some remodeling. Well, this time of year, you start thinking about improvements around the house, and it's going on right now. NARI Milwaukee's 64th Annual Spring Home Improvement Show. Joining us is Michelle Brown from NARI, and this started on Friday, and today's the last day, so you got time still to come in and take a look at the show. What's new this year, Michelle?
That's right, Libby. We have so much going on this year, and we are so excited. We have over 175 NARI Milwaukee members, and we have beautiful displays throughout. So we have a whole backyard oasis where you can come and anchor yourself, and it features a hot tub and a fire feature and this beautiful multi-level deck, and that's right when you enter the show floor. We also have cabin fever going on because we all have that right now, right? So in that space, it's a beautiful space designed by J&J Contractors 1 and built by Franklin High School students. So come and check out that work and enjoy an old-fashioned in this beautiful cabin space. We also have the Next Gen Trades Challenge going on this year, and it features a backyard, and we have local area high school students, again, building man caves and play sets. There are dog houses, all kinds of things to see there, and that is in the foundation area of the show floor.
Well, I love that NARI works with high school students because not only are they learning skills that they can use throughout their lives, but it might lead to a career for them.
Absolutely, and because of that, we also tell this story of even starting younger. So there is a kids busy builder zone where they can play with construction trucks. And there's even some challenges where they are instructed to build a house out of these kind of bricks and lumber and see where that takes them in the future. Maybe they look to that Next Gen Trades area and say, that could be me in 10 years. And then they end up a NARI member in the future.
Oh, let's hope so. Well, NARI, again, you knock yourselves out of the park literally every year at State Fair Park in the Exposition Center with the Spring Home Improvement Show. Today is the last day. How do you get tickets, or can you just walk in?
You could walk in and order them online at narimilwaukee.org.
Michelle Brown from NARI, thanks so much for joining us today.
Have a great day.
Hey, and while you're out in the yard and you're looking around, do you have a maple tree? Did you ever think that it would be possible to get syrup from it? Well, today we're going to tell you how it's done. Also, once again, the American women's hockey team is dominating the Olympics, and former Jeopardy contestant Nicole Hussey is looking forward to a battle of the Badgers. She's going to join us new at 9. Also, thousands of children in the area go without seeing a dentist. Why? It costs too much. And we're going to tell you where kids can get free dental care. Plus, is it really possible to elevate McDonald's food to a gourmet level? Well, we're going to hear how it's done and where you can get some of it. And boy, wait until you hear some of these dishes. Also, our consumer expert, Michelle Ryan, is here with us. She's going to warn about some tax preparation scams. Tim Gibbons joins us. He, of course, is the editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal. And he has news about some local manufacturers. For some, it's good news. For others, not so much. Sandy Max is here. She's taking a look at that new mini-series about JFK Jr. and his wife, Carolyn Bessette. It was truly a love story. We've got Nazir in the newsroom. Isaac's pushing those buttons. And coming up in just 2 minutes, we'll hear from Eric Bilstead with another everyday hero. It is going to be a beautiful day today. We're going to get up to about 50 degrees. Currently, it's 35 at 8:11 on WTMJ.
Can it get any easier?
I don't think so.
James, you can get an online order done at martyspizza.net in 30 seconds.
And we've made it easy to order all the favorites that a lot of Marty's Pizza lovers gotta have.
Our classic sausage and pepperoni pizza or lasagna and masticholi entrees. They're all delicious. Marty's Pizza in Delafield and martyspizza.net for easy online ordering.
Register online for Red Card Loyalty, and after 15 pizzas, you'll get your next one free!
Marty's Pizza. Do you remember when times were good? Well, they're good again. It's as good today as it was in the past. It doesn't get any better than that. Remember, Marty's Pizza.
Hey everybody, it's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga for Access Legal. I see firsthand how hard Wisconsin workers push themselves. From the construction crews on the roads I monitor every day to the countless jobs that strain the body over time. For many, that wear and tear turns into real pain. My friends at Access Legal understand what you're going through and they want to help. Their team has recovered more than $35 million for Wisconsin workers and will fight for the benefits you're entitled to as well. Worn down by work? Contact Access Legal for a risk-free consultation. That's AXIS Legal.
Experience an auto show like never before. The Milwaukee Auto Show hits the road with new dates and a new easy access, easy to park location. Clear your calendar. May 14th through 17th at the Wisconsin State Fair Park and Expo Center. Whether shopping or just dreaming, you'll see sleek luxury cars to rugged trucks and everyday favorites. Hundreds of new vehicles. May 14th through 17th at the Wisconsin State Fair Park and Expo Center. AutoShowMilwaukee.com.
It's 8:13. We have 35 degrees, and it's time to recognize another everyday hero. Here's Eric Bilstead.
An everyday hero is when we celebrate an average John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they got up one morning they'd be saving a life. Today we head to Louisville. A 3-year-old boy is missing in the city, and police are searching by air, in a helicopter and by drone, and on land, with boots on the ground.
I'm just going to start walking. He's got to be close. He can't run that fast. Well, me and another officer, Officer Story, decided, hey, let's get on foot. We're going to find this kid on foot.
That's Officer Josh Thompson. You can hear the audio from his body cam. So he goes to a neighborhood where a woman had reported seeing a child. She gave a different description than this specific 3-year-old, but Officer Thompson and these other officers decided, let's go there anyway and take a look around. The story is posted on the Louisville Metro Police Department Facebook page. The officer heads to a house and he knocks on the door, and this house appears to be empty, but then around the side of the yard...
As I'm walking to the front, the craziest thing happened. There's a dog. Starts walking with me. And at first, you don't know about dogs. You don't know where the dog's from, so I'm kind of being a little leery of the dog.
Yeah, you're never quite sure, right? When you see a dog with no collar barking at you, not sure if it's friendly yet. It appeared that this dog was a stray. So Officer Thompson says, okay, well, no one answered the door, but clearly this dog is trying to get my attention.
Let's go find him. Come on, let's go. It's kind of funny. I guess I'm a dog guy, right? So I'm like, hey, let's go find this kid. And the dog immediately spins, runs off the front porch, and is leading me back to the backyard of this house. What? Show me. Let's go.
So they head to the backyard, and it's a bit of a mess back there.
I kind of looking in the backyard for obvious things. There was a couple cars back there, just like a garage, detached garage, the door open. There's some spots where a kid may be.
And some of these cars don't look like they move very often. They have been there a bit. So the dog is sitting right by the bumper of an SUV. And one of the officers looks inside the vehicle, and lo and behold, there is this missing 3-year-old. He's in the front passenger seat, absolutely terrified. He can't get out. So Thompson starts showing him how to unlock the door and to get it open, and voila.
Grab and pull it. There we go! I don't think I've ever seen a happier kid in my life. He jumped out of the car, bear hugged my neck, and wouldn't let go.
The boy is okay, back home with family, all thanks to this dog, and no one really knows where this dog came from. Cops and local media now referring to the pup as Louisville Lassie.
Man, I don't know where the dog came from. But it was a blessing from God that day.
There's great video from the body cam. Just text the word hero to the Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line 855-616-1620. Thank you, Lassie, for being an everyday hero. Everyday Hero, sponsored by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
And thank you, Eric, for sharing that story with us. And it is quite a video. If you haven't checked it out yet, you definitely want to. Well, it's going to be a beautiful day today. This is spring. 50 degrees for a high today, 55 tomorrow. We're already up to 35 at 8:17. And coming up next, it's Tim Gibbons with the Milwaukee Business Journal. There's some manufacturers out there that are letting go of people and some others that are hiring. We'll tell you who it is right after this.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, and they offer early memory loss classes to help you. They specialize in this area. It's kindness at the core, locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. It's compassion, it's empathy. It's Wisconsin-based and family-owned, always welcoming people to come tour and welcome their new residents. I've seen their places. They're top-notch. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
We see you out there coming up with original ideas, which is why you shop at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Because you know that when inspiration stirs, we'll have what you need at prices that help make it happen. During our big pet care event, all multi-pet dog and cat toys are 25% off. New Blaine's Naturals dog treats start at just $4.99. And get a free $15 Blaine's gift card with every $100 spent on Purina pet products. Find value on the things you value. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
Planning for 2026 starts now. A new deck from Outdoor Living Unlimited is built to last. We are Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech deck installation team. For amazing ideas, go to our Outdoor Living Unlimited Instagram page. For a free estimate, go to OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
It's time to check in with Timothy Gibbons. He's the editor-in-chief at the Milwaukee Business Journal. There's a lot going on in manufacturing in the area this week. Tim, let's start with Cargill. Why are they cutting more than 200 jobs?
So they're shutting down that entire facility there, not shutting down all their facilities in the area, but shutting down, it's a beef processing plant. It makes ground beef and fresh beef and other protein products. The entire thing is coming at an interesting time in the meat processing industry. So Tyson, a competitor of Cargill, this past few weeks, they've shut down a facility in, I think it was Virginia. The number of cattle in the American beef system is at its lowest point in years. So that's creating challenges for the companies that process the meat. And from a consumer standpoint means that's why you're seeing higher prices for beef at the grocery store.
But does it look as if those jobs are cut permanently, or are they going to be temporary cuts?
So those cuts are going to be permanent is what it looks like now. The company is saying that workers can go to other Cargill facilities. They have throughout the Midwest, they have several facilities. So people who have those jobs might have other options, but those particular positions appear to be gone for good.
All right. Well, Harley Davidson also said they're planning, and this term I've never heard before, a headcount reduction as part of the reset. Is headcount reduction just a nicer term for layoffs?
That is a slightly nicer term for layoffs. So yeah, this is a cost-cutting measure by the company. You know, they had their new CEO who has joined, and one of the things he is charged with is basically getting the company on the right path. The motorcycle business is a really tough one these days. I mean, you've seen all the studies about younger people are less interested in driving, never mind in riding motorcycles. Harley, under its old CEO, very much focused on one particular type of bike. So Artie Starrs comes in, he's the new CEO, and he's planning a kind of full-scale, what they're calling a reset. As part of that, they're looking to save $150 million, and that is going to lead to a reduction in headcount.
And did they give a number as to how many people might be affected?
No, that is still to come. Artie Starrs is going to be rolling out kind of the overarching plan when the company next releases its earnings. So that's expected in May. Coincidentally, the Business Journal does these quarterly power breakfasts right around the time that the company rolls out that new plan. Artie Starrs is going to be our guest for a conversation about Harley in the future. So it's going to be interesting to see how he's positioning the company, what changes need to take place, and where it's going from here. We talked to dealers. Dealers are optimistic. They've had complaints under the previous CEO, and they're very much looking forward to see where things go next.
Well, it's not all layoffs because there's one manufacturer in Germantown that says they're bringing some new jobs. Now, tell us why.
Smaller scale, a company that right now has about 15 people, but they're looking to grow to 80 people over the course of the year, and that is just the beginning of their growth. They are moving into a bigger facility that went from 43,000 square feet to basically triple that size. They make things for what I know is your favorite topic, data centers. So custom server racks, no disrespect to the people who are making these things, not the sexiest of products. Most people are not like, ooh, server racks. But when you think about a data center, there's so many pieces that go into it, and many parts of that need to be made to exact specifications and in very large quantities. And there's a number of manufacturing companies in Southeast Wisconsin who are finding the data center boom to be very advantageous for them.
So are these highly skilled jobs?
They can be. It very much depends on what exactly is being manufactured. But, some of them are just stamping out pieces and some of them are more technological. Frankly, the entire manufacturing space now has so much technology embedded in it that, it's probably fair to say all of these are at least somewhat technical skills required.
We're talking with Tim Gibbons. He is the editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal. Another area where I know you've been watching very carefully is that about local banks. And what's this about a merger between two?
This is just a broad look story that we did pinned to some of the mergers and acquisitions that are taking place. So Associated Bank is in the midst of making a big acquisition. Nicolette National Bank announced last year that it's making an acquisition that is closing in the first half of this year. We were somewhat taken by the fact that there was multiple announcements of mergers and acquisitions by Wisconsin banks toward the end of 2025. So we started digging into the data. It turns out there was a lot of announcements of mergers and acquisitions by banks across the country toward the end of 2025. A combination of the belief that the federal government right now is more merger and acquisition friendly, and the economy seems to be in good shape, makes it a good time for banks to be buying each other.
So how does that affect stockholders in those banks?
For most of them, if the merger goes off well, that can be a good thing. I mean, they'll either get cashed out or they'll become shareholders in the surviving institution. It can also be, and I want to kind of emphasize the can there, it can be a good thing for customers of these banks. When you think about the banking industry, talk about a sector that is very technologically dependent. There's so much technology and regulation and things that apply to all financial institutions, or at least mostly all financial institutions, that getting bigger means that you can do things at scale. Rolling out mobile banking for a small group of customers or a big group of customers kind of is in some ways the same job. So as these banks get bigger, that means that it can be a better thing for some of their customers. That said, there very much is the benefit of that local banker who knows you sort of thing. Wisconsin has a pretty healthy number of smaller footprint banks. Some of them are going to get acquired, but for a lot of them, they fill a niche that's just so important in terms of having those local connections and being that local hometown banker, which a lot of people are looking for.
All right, we haven't talked about this, and it's got to be at least 2 weeks, Tim. There are more apartments coming to Brookfield.
There are more apartments coming to Brookfield. You haven't talked about it in at least 2 weeks. It is interesting how often the biggest business news of the week is something real estate related. So this past Friday, I was in a conversation with the chief economist of the National Association of Realtors, and one of the things he talked about was just how important building supply is as we go into 2026. And that's what these apartments do. There's a great demand. Brookfield in particular is a hot area for people moving to, and there's just not a lot of stuff to get. So this is going to be the second phase of the Brookfield Reserve apartment complex. It's an office building is being replaced with this mixed-use building that's going to be bringing in about 200 units.
And that's just off Blue Mound around Elm Grove Road, isn't it?
I believe, yes.
And how many more apartments are they building there?
About 210. And it is part of just trying to re-envision in general that area, particularly where there are offices that are not needed. Can they be replaced with housing? You can't do it everywhere. There's issues with everything from sewers to zoning and everything else. But if there's an opportunity to bring in some of these apartments in what had been purely office spaces, people are very much jumping on that opportunity.
But there's already a pretty large complex there, so that's going to be, about 500 apartments just in that general
just in that area,
if I'm correct.
Yeah, exactly. And it brings with it traffic concerns and all of that, but there's definitely a demand for more housing.
All right. And one final thing I want to talk about this week. As you know, it's Ash Wednesday, the beginning of Lent on Wednesday, and that means Tuesday is Punchki Day, and you uncovered a really interesting flavor of Punchki. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so first I got to thank you for saying Punchki to make sure that I pronounced it correctly, because this is my second Fat Tuesday in Milwaukee, and I was a convert to Punchki right off the bat, but I'm not sure I was pronouncing it correctly. So National Bakery and Deli, which is obviously a well-known maker of the treat, is partnering with Central Standard Craft Distillery for what is the most Milwaukee-sounding thing that you can eat. It's an old-fashioned, brandy old-fashioned flavored Punchki.
Frankly, I like mine on the rocks.
I'm pretty sure you can do both. You could have an actual old-fashioned and the Punchki and maybe get a scoop of custard on the side or something.
It's what's for breakfast. Hey, Tim, thanks for being here with us this morning.
Thanks, you too.
And on this Sunday morning, as you're sitting there with your Punchki, is it Punchki or Punchki? I don't know. All I know is it's a lot of calories, but they are good. And as you're enjoying it, it is going to be a beautiful day today. I mean, we're talking about getting around 50 degrees. In some areas, it might even be a little bit warmer than that. Then tonight, it gets down to about 35. But tomorrow, sunny, 55 degrees for a high, maybe a little warmer than that in some other areas. Tuesday, the clouds come back, 41 for a high. See some showers on Wednesday with 54 for a high. And on Thursday, looks like we've got some showers ahead of us. Right now, we're looking at temperatures in the 30s throughout the area, but they are going up quickly. Richfield has 38 degrees. Sheboygan's at 35. Muskego, you've got 39, and we have 37 degrees at 8:28 on WTMJ.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Now these tend to fly off the shelves. But don't worry, because our connection supplies us with a lot of them. Vintage ceiling tiles from once great old buildings in New York City that make for ultra-unique artwork. These items are definitely hard to find from anywhere else around here. So come take a look, and you'll probably find a treasure. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Keep the comfort in and the weather out with beautiful new windows and doors from Siding Unlimited. For ideas, go to our Siding Unlimited Instagram page. For a free estimate and honest price guarantee, go to sidingunlimited.com.
Well, it looks like there's been a pretty serious rollover crash on the south side of Milwaukee. And at 8:30, we have Nizer Spencer in the WTMJ Breaking News Center. What have you found out, Nizer?
Yes, thank you, Libby. Milwaukee police are investigating a rollover crash on Milwaukee's south side. It happened around 3 this morning near South 36th Street and West Mitchell Street, just south of American Family Field. The Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office confirms it was called to the scene, which typically indicated a possible fatality. The investigation is ongoing. Milwaukee police are investigating a non-fatal shooting involving a 14-year-old. Officers were called around 8 Saturday night to North 66th Street and West Ruby Avenue. Police say that the teen was shot and taken to the local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Investigators are still searching for unknown suspects, and no arrests have been made. A man from Appleton faces child pornography charges in Florida. 29-year-old Alec Rowley was arrested in Appleton on a warrant for 100 counts of distributing child porn. Police confirmed there is no evidence that any children in the Appleton area were harmed. Rowley is currently in county jail awaiting extradition in Florida. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic on I-794 west at ramp from Care Ferry Road. The right shoulder is blocked due to a traffic stop. Just be mindful of that, as there may be people outside of their cars. It's not causing any traffic, but just to be mindful of that this morning. Otherwise, it's looking pretty clear across the rest of the system.
Traffic is sponsored by Angela Calais and Benefit Realty.
At Benefit Realty, pay only 3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission and get all the service that you should. Benefit Realty, you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, partly cloudy skies with a high of around 50 degrees. Tonight, a low of 35 with partly cloudy this evening, then becoming cloudy after midnight. Monday, mostly sunny with a high of 55 and a low of 34. Tuesday, cloudy with a high of 41 and a low of 39. Wednesday, morning showers are possible with a high of 54 and a low of 32 at night. And Thursday, multiple afternoon showers possible. Right now in Madison, it is 34, in Green Bay 31, in Waukesha 38, and in Milwaukee 37 degrees. I'm Nazir Spencer, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 8:32.
Thanks a lot, Nazir. And in just 2 minutes, it's a Week in Review, sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
It's WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Sweet Talks Medical Spa in Menominee Falls. If you're looking for expert care without that cold clinical vibe, Sweet Talks is where beauty, wellness, and self-confidence comes together in such a fun, welcoming space. Sweet Talks offers injectables, advanced skin treatments, even wellness services like weight loss or hormone optimization. Sweet Talks provides a comprehensive consultation designed just for you. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
3 generations ago, it was about doing one thing and doing it right.
Hardwood, tile, carpet, floors that had to last because our name, Adair, was on them. Over time, homeowners asked us to do more. Kitchens, bathrooms, full remodels. And so our name changed to Adair Floors and Remodeling.
But flooring has always been the foundation, literally.
And it's something the next generation already understands.
Hi, I'm Ava. Hi, I'm Quinn. My dad does floors.
From hardwood and luxury vinyl plank to tile and carpet, we handle selection, layout, and professional installation.
And because we also remodel homes, we know how flooring works with everything else. Transitions, finishes, and long-term durability.
When you hire Adair, you're getting experience you can stand on and people who will be here for decades to come.
Call my dad. Bye-bye.
Adair Floors and Remodeling. Built on flooring, trusted for remodels. 3 generations, 1 standard. Call us at 414-761-3660 for your free flooring estimate.
Truth Nation, mark your calendars for Friday, February 20th, as we will be hosting our 2nd annual Truth Community Awards, hosted by the legendary Home Blow and Bailey Cope. Tickets are on sale now. Visit 1017truthawards.com to learn more. The Truth Community Awards are sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, the Milwaukee Bucks, Gruber, Steinhoffels, Cousin Subs, and 3rd Street Market Hall. Come celebrate with us on Friday, February 20th at the Truth Community Awards from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Do not miss out on the best community awards event of the year.
And welcome back to the second half hour of Wisconsin Weekend Morning News. I'm Libby Collins. Well, there was a pinch that was heard across Milwaukee. A Wisconsinite who won the gold, and plus a breakthrough in the Nancy Guthrie case. There was so much more, too. It's the Week in Review, brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go back. And that will do it. The Seahawks, Super Bowl champions for the 2nd time.
The city is electric. We're about to fucking light this stuff up.
The best highlight of the game, apparently we had a Super Bowl streaker. Otherwise, the game was a snoozer.
God bless America. Sea Chile, Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, United States, Canada, Puerto Rico.
And so the point is that Americano encompasses all of the Americas, from Canada down to Argentina.
Was pulling the facial recognition technology out of investigators' toolboxes, do you believe, the right decision?
I think it's a little short-sighted. When we do have a surveillance video that can be run through facial recognition, it actually speeds up the case tremendously.
Tosh, apparently the Olympic medals are falling apart.
I'm going to tell you something.
You go.
I'm going to tell you something. This is what we need to have, a breakaway mechanism on a gold medal.
And then we have this crazy group. Play it once. Anytime.
This is someone in your group?
Yeah, any time of day or night, you'd be in a restaurant, all of a sudden that would echo out over. Look, Damn.
Jose Perez, the Common Council president, he alleges that Marty Brooks, the guy who runs the Wisconsin Center District, touched him inappropriately.
The fact that you're acting that way and you want me to tell you that you pinched my butt?
Oh, come on. I did not do that.
You did too.
That is bull.
A person of interest has been detained tonight in connection with the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie.
Coming only hours after the FBI released images of a masked man approaching Nancy Guthrie's front door.
Wisconsin's morning news is off to the Olympics. Checking in live, here's our Olympics correspondent, Lori Nickel.
You made it to women's hockey, right?
They were so dominant.
Wow.
Those women, 17 unanswered goals now. They had 5 last night.
All right, we're just having some.
Thank you for playing the song that my mother named me after.
Is it really? I did not know that.
We have got to put guardrails on this rogue agency that's just out of control right now.
Wisconsin speed skater Jordan Stolz claims his first gold medal at the Winter Olympics.
The best speed skater in the world flies to an Olympic record and the lead.
A Wisconsin Burger King franchise, according to the Department of Workforce Development, broke thousands of child labor laws.
Well, look, no more Burger King for me until we figure all this out.
Attorney General Pam Bondi was on Capitol Hill today and sparred with critics who question how her department's handled the Epstein files.
Dow has shattered 50,000. They said it couldn't be done in 4 years, yet President Trump has done it in 1 year.
What are you talking about?
When we talk about victims not being taken seriously, this is what we're talking about.
Call him the sweet freak today, Giannis Freak Gummies.
I feel like Giannis is going to be our number one customer as well. So not only is this his gummy, but I feel like he's going to be the one who's keeping us sold out.
Pitchers and catchers, they were filtered in the last couple of days. They're on the field, tossing the ball around today. The Cubs, picked by most experts to win the division, again.
Weren't we saying this exact sentence last year? I look at this year's roster. I think it's better than the roster they were breaking camp with last year. I really do.
What a week, eh? What a week.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
And that is the Weekend Review, brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited. If you text the word week to the Siding Unlimited talk and text line at 855-616-1620, you can hear it all again. It's 8:39 on WTMJ. We're going to get up to the 50s today. I cannot wait. It's finally spring in southeastern Wisconsin. Current temperature 38 degrees.
Family owned and operated. Yep, we sure are. Since 1970. And I know you've probably heard it a million times. But the words family owned and operated hold a lot of water. They mean you can count on dealing with an expert. Because when your dad runs the show, he teaches you all that he knows. They mean prompt service. Because it's not just our job, it's a big part of our life. They mean you're actually working with someone who has accountability and a real interest in your satisfaction and their business's overall success. So when you hear businesses say the words family-owned and operated, give them a try, because small business owners like us really do have your best interest in mind. And when you need advice from southeastern Wisconsin's foremost glass experts, call me. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Hey, sports fans, listen up. WTMJ's Greg Matzik here. Celebrate our friends at Palermo's during the big international hockey tournament throughout the week. I'll be cheering on our team with Palermo's. The result? Well, that doesn't matter, because Screamin' Sicilian Tavern-style pizzas now just $5.99 at Metcalf's through the 18th of February. We're talking about thin, crispy crust, bold, and piled high toppings, and an unbeatable flavor in every bite. Win the gold with Screamin' Sicilian. More toppings, more flavor. More is amore. Wisconsin's hometown pizza, Palermo's.
Point taken with Scafidi and Bry.
What are we going to do? Because we can't just have thousands of independent journalists and think that that becomes the fourth estate. Like, truth is expensive. And to a certain extent, you do need an organization who has the money to actually do real reporting. And if you're an independent journalist, there's only so much you can do and cover on your own. And we need news organization. Apparently, a benevolent billionaire is not a safe answer.
Weekdays from 10 to noon on WTMJ.
It's tax season, and it's important to protect yourself by avoiding scams and potential issues that may take days or weeks to discover and deal with. And joining us is Michelle Reinen, our consumer expert from DATCap. And Michelle, what are some of the scams you're hearing about this year?
One of them is back taxes scam, and this is when scammers are calling consumers and claiming they owe back taxes. They say they are representatives from fake companies or organizations like the Tax Resolution Oversight Department or Tax Mediation and Resolution Agency. They state the consumer has not paid their taxes, and of course, they offer to help you figure that all out.
All right, well, tell us about what you need to do if you get one of those calls.
Well, I hope that consumers can recognize the red flags of this scam, and that's they're being pressured to give their money and personal information through tactics like limited time offers or claims from the scammer that this will be our only attempt to reach you. And if a consumer receives a call from a tax resolution officer who wants to perform a red flag check or help them apply for an IRS liability reduction program, these are all warning signs of the scam. So even if a consumer does owe back taxes, hang up the phone and check things out directly with the IRS at irs.gov.
Now, Michelle, is there anything that we can do as we're preparing our taxes to make sure we avoid all scams?
Yeah, there's a long list of things that consumers can do, and just to highlight a few is file as soon as possible to avoid the possibility of identity theft and that thief beating you to your refund. Sign up for federal and state identity protection PIN numbers. These are an easy add-on. It's an extra step, but it makes sure it's you filing your taxes. And be very cautious of phishing scams sent by text, email, and direct messages during this time of year. And don't listen to social media posts claiming that there are easy tricks or secret tax credits that can increase the amount of your tax return. These are often promoting scams and fraud.
If it sounds like it's too good to be true, it probably is, Michelle. Finally, if we think you're being scammed, who do we call?
Contact DADCAP's Consumer Protection Hotline at 800-422-7128.
That temperature is really rising today. I mean, we're already up to 38 degrees. We are going to see 50 and maybe a little better today. It's going to be a nice day around southeastern Wisconsin. You're probably wondering, any new developments in the Nancy Guthrie case? Well, there's one kind of interesting bit. I'll tell you what it is right after this on WTMJ.
Business owners
and right-hand men and women.
When you make the catering call for your office gathering,
make it Marty's Pizza.
For pizza, pasta, subs, wings, appetizers, and more.
Delivered in our heated oven delivery trucks.
Our catering delivery range has expanded.
All the way east into Brookfield.
Just log on to martyspizza.net for easy online ordering.
Or give us a call at 262-646-3327. 262-646-3327.
Pizza. Do you remember when times were good? Well, they're good again. It's as good today as it was in the past. It doesn't get any better than that. Remember, Marty's Pizza.
You know, a lot of people have been saying, what's going on with the Nancy Guthrie disappearance? It's been 2 weeks now. I don't know about you, but right as I was going to go to bed on Friday night, all this news started breaking that, you know, there was this huge police presence around a house that was maybe about a mile from Nancy Guthrie's house. And I stayed up. I mean, I don't even know what time it was by the time I went to bed because I kept thinking, do they have somebody? Is this it? And, you know, they were talking about a 70-ish-year-old woman and a couple of younger men being taken into custody, and nothing seemed to come of it. Well, you know what it appears happened? Isaac, this is really interesting. We've heard a lot about this pacemaker that Nancy Guthrie had, and of course advanced technology. They're saying, is there a way to find the pacemaker? Is there a way to find out if she still might be alive? And do you know what I think might have happened and how they all came into this house the other night?
What happened?
Well, apparently the investigators are using a Bluetooth technology where they are using helicopters going in like a very patterned close grid throughout the area where Nancy Guthrie lived. And these are all like $1 million houses. I mean, and they're looking to see if anything picks up on a pacemaker. And I think what might have happened, now I don't have any verification of that, but I think what might have happened, because they said it was a 70-year-old woman, I wonder if she had a pacemaker and if this Bluetooth device picked up hers, and that's how they zeroed in on that house.
Oh, wow.
Because, I mean, it seemed like she was totally innocent, because they said, I saw someplace, her next door neighbor's a lawyer, and apparently she was very shaken up when they finally did release her, and she ended up spending the night in that house, because they were still, the police were still crawling all over her house looking for whatever. And yeah, you wonder if you've got a pacemaker and you're in that Tucson area, if with this grid that the helicopters are running with the Bluetooth, if maybe the police are going to come and check you out because they're picking up signals, right?
Oh, wow.
Because there are a lot of people out there with pacemakers. So, yeah, just something to keep in mind, especially if you're visiting Tucson in the next couple of weeks and you've got a pacemaker. Look up in the sky and see if there's a helicopter nearby. All right, it is 8:47. Just bizarre, because they haven't said there was any other reason that they looked at that house. And it does seem, at least at this point, that everybody was, well, at least set free. I can't say they're completely clear, because they're saying nobody's completely clear, but just an interesting development from my perspective. It is going to be a little bit on the cloudy side, but we're still going to see some sunshine. That high is going to be right around 50, maybe a little better. Tonight we're going to get down to 35, and tomorrow absolutely outstanding. Sunshine and 55 degrees for a high. We're up to 39 at 8:48 on WTMJ. And coming up next, it is Sandy Max, and she has something to tell you about a new miniseries on there, and I'm obsessed. It's all ahead on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been Milwaukee's one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
Analyzing the news from the perspective of those in the field. Hey, it's WTMJ's Adam Roberts. Join me every Sunday at 10 for Reporter's Notebook, where we take a deeper dive behind the biggest stories of the past week, told from the perspective of the reporters, anchors, and news directors making decisions behind the scenes and covering the stories you hear every single day.
Bringing you the story behind the story. It's Reporter's Notebook, Sunday mornings at 10 on WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
John, I want to introduce you to Carolyn Bissett. Carolyn, this is John Kennedy.
Oh, I don't know if you saw it the other night. This is something I have been looking forward to. Ryan Murphy's take on the love story between JFK Jr. and Carolyn Bissett. And here to talk to us about it is our own Sandy Max. And Sandy, I have always been obsessed with the Kennedys. And JFK Jr., I thought, was one of the most handsome men ever to walk the face of the earth. And this docudrama that they're doing really has my attention. How about you?
I love that Ryan Murphy just has your number. I feel like you've enjoyed everything that Ryan Murphy has done, because he's the same guy who produced the Monsters series. Jeffrey Dahmer, Ed Gein, the Menendez brothers. I feel like he's got that angle of crime covered. So for him to shift his focus and be part of this project of FX's Love Story anthology after also doing American Horror Story, it's an interesting range that he has to turn his focus on something that, like I said, he's got your number. The Kennedy family has been very romanticized, yet very tragic over decades, and has captured the attention of the country for years.
And the story, though, between these two young people is so interesting because JFK Jr. was the most eligible bachelor in the world back in the 90s.
There was even a Seinfeld episode where Elaine wanted to date him and bumped into him at the gym.
Exactly. But the thing is, he was so romanticized at the time, and then to come to such a tragic end, as seems to be part of the Kennedy story, it's made for TV. There's no question about it. So what do we expect on this? Because with any Ryan Murphy show, it's over several episodes. How many are going to take place on this? Because I think they dropped 3 the other night.
Yeah,
didn't they?
9 total. They dropped 3, and then they'll come out weekly through the month of March to follow along with how they meet. And it's so funny. I think for anybody who misses The Crown, I think this kind of follows into that American royalty type appetite of interest of how, like you were saying, like the most eligible bachelor in the world. And, you know, it was a thrill to see him around New York City where he lived naturally, but people would, oh, I saw JFK Jr. today, you know, so he caused a ripple everywhere that he went. And then when he kind of met his match, funny enough, at a Calvin Klein VIP dressing room, you know, he fell in love with Carolyn Bessette and their romance. But it sounds like Carolyn Bessette knew what she was getting into. For example, I found an old People magazine article. Did you ever watch The Real Housewives of New York City? Remember Caroline Radziwill was part of it? And she was married to
JFK Jr.'s cousin, who was almost like a brother to him, Anthony Radziwill.
Yeah, so she had the insight that they were a normal couple. They, you know, had their ups and downs, but the Carolyn Bessette was deeply funny and deeply profound and smart. So it was just funny to kind of get that take on their intense romance. But, you know, again, we were talking about the romance and the tragedy. So they got married in 96, and that awful plane crash outside Martha's Vineyard that killed them both was 99. It was 3 years into their marriage.
And I remember when it happened. It's interesting because it was 3 days of a search for that plane, and the world was on edge. It was much the same as what happened when Princess Diana died, or even now the obsession with the Nancy Guthrie disappearance, where it's all that you're seeing on TV. But again, it premiered on FX on Thursday night, and over the next 3 weeks, we're going to see all 9 episodes.
But I think this isn't just about their romance. I think it explores even deeper what fame does to a couple. Because a couple of the quotes that stood out to me in the trailer is, shiny people belong to everyone. And also that a happy couple doesn't sell papers. So, you know, it can show just what pressures it puts on a famous couple, whether you like them or not. Or, you know, I feel like everybody has opinions on Harry and Meghan and has opinions on some of the other famous couples of our age. And maybe it's a window to the world of really understanding what some of those pressures are in that upper class world that a lot of us don't live in.
And why so many of us want to read things like People magazine. All right, let's move on to another love story. And this isn't the first time we've seen this on screen. I think it's been done a number of times. And that is the classic love story between those star-crossed lovers in Wuthering Heights. Heathcliff!
Kathy and Heathcliff, yes. This is a highly anticipated, hot adaptation of Wuthering Heights that just came out in the cinemas. And how pretty is Margot Robbie? She played Barbie. She's just a beautiful gal
gorgeous
to look at. And so she plays Kathy. And there's some, you know, you hear the phrase bodice ripper for romance novels. This is a corset tightener. It looks like one of the more intense scenes. But Jacob Elordi, another man who is easy on the eyes as Heathcliff. What I'm going to be interested in is I'm going to hold off seeing all the critical reviews. But how faithful is it to the Emily Bronte book? Because you have the loyalists, but also how hot is it in the romance factor? Maybe as long as it delivers in the emotional intensity and eye candy that you want in the Moors, maybe it doesn't have to be loyal to the book.
Well, maybe it will actually get teenage girls to read.
Ooh, I like that.
If they see the movie. But yeah, I agree with you. I think Margot Robbie is one of the most gorgeous women on screen. And have you seen her at some of these red carpets and the outfits she's wearing that are very much the era of Wuthering Heights?
That's fantastic. I love leaning all the way into the blousy romance of it all.
Well, now that we've taken care of love on this Valentine's Day weekend, what do you have on tap for this week, Sandy?
Some moto culture. We're going to get you revved up for Flat Out Friday, the return at Fiserv Forum with the co-founders of this fabulous event. And also, there's a play called Swing State at Next Act Theater. We're going to get to know the director, Elise Edelman. So just a few of the guests lined up so far for next week on What's on Tap.
Swing State, is that a political kind of drama? Or?
You'll have to listen to find out.
I will be. Thanks for coming in again this morning. Sandy Max with What's on Tap. It's 8:56. Are you a sap? No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't say it that way. How about, have you ever thought about getting sap from a maple tree? Yeah, it's a thing. It really is. Well, we're going to tell you about it. And believe it or not, you could actually do it in your own yard. It might take a little patience, but we're going to talk about that next hour. Also, next hour, we're going to find out if, well, you know, a lot of kids, are you aware it's like 84,000 children throughout southeastern Wisconsin are struggling to get decent and affordable dental care, not medical care, dental care. We're going to tell you where they can go to get free dental care. Also, if you're a McDonald's fan, how about elevating those dishes? We'll tell you whether that's happening next weekend. And also, if you've been watching the Olympics, it's pretty hard not to get excited about the women's hockey team. We're going to be talking with our dear friend, Nicole Hasse. She was on Jeopardy. You remember that? Well, she's also a sports writer, and she's got her eye on them because it's mostly Badgers playing. We'll talk about that new at 9, right after the news with Nizer on WTMJ.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Shopco Optical. Start the new year right. Use your vision benefits and schedule your annual comprehensive eye exam. You can check out new frame styles and order your annual supply of contact lenses all in one place. Shopco Optical is committed to quality eye care and will create personalized vision solutions tailored to your specific vision and lifestyle needs. New year, new you, new style. Call Shopco Optical or visit shopco.com to schedule an appointment at a location nearest you.
We love our farmers at Fleet Farm, and we're celebrating with big deals on farm supplies and over $160,000 in giveaways. The sales run all week long, but stop by February 13th through 15th for giveaways that start at 10 a.m. each day, including 100 free gift cards on Friday, 500 free tote bags on Saturday, and 500 free hats on Sunday. For more info, go to fleetfarm.com and enjoy all our farm festivities this week, only at Fleet Farm.
Real James Imaging Systems clients. You've heard them right here on the radio for years. For instance, Chris Willems, office manager with Previan Law Firm.
I like the fact that the company is local and I can always get a hold of my representative who I have on speed dial or I have a cell phone.
Then there's James Imaging Systems client Preston Clark, who oversees IT services at Creative Business Interiors.
If I do need service, they're here almost within 4 hours every time. I've never had an issue where I'm like, where is that guy?
James Imaging Systems business technology client Lori Salzman, Vice President of Enterprise Services at Junior Achievement of Wisconsin.
I've never met an organization that is so responsive to make sure that we are up and running all the time for us to be more efficient and allow us to focus more on the work that we do for helping young people.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. To learn more, visit jamesimaging.com.
Your trusted and relevant source for news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 9 o'clock, it is 40 degrees here in Milwaukee. Today, mostly sunny and mild with a high of 51 near the lake and 56 inland. And tonight, a low of 30. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Nizer Spencer. Racing fans are all revved up for the 68th Daytona 500 today. NASCAR President Steve O'Donnell says the threat of rain is forcing an earlier start.
When you're out there racing at 200 miles an hour, rain and weather don't mix with this type of racing. So we've taken the step to move the race up an hour to 1:30. The rain, if it does come, is probably 7 p.m. or beyond. So we think we'll have plenty of time. Fingers crossed.
The race begins at 12:30 p.m. Central. O'Donnell says this year's race will feature a flyover from the Thunderbirds, plus celebrity appearances. Milwaukee police are investigating a rollover crash on Milwaukee's south side. It happened around 3 this morning near South 36th Street and West Mitchell Street, just south of American Family Field. The Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office confirms it was called to the scene, which typically indicated a possible fatality. The investigation is ongoing. A man from Appleton faces child pornography charges in Florida.
29-year-old Alec Rowley was arrested in Appleton on a warrant for 100 counts of distributing child porn. Police confirm there is no evidence that any children in the Appleton area were harmed. Rowley is currently in the Outagamie County Jail waiting extradition to Florida. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
A bill that aims to close gaps in Wisconsin's mandatory reporting laws is heading to the governor's desk. Current state law requires Child Protective Services to report suspected trafficking or sexual abuse to law enforcement within 12 hours. However, other forms of abuse are left to discretion. State Representative Chas Green says Zoe's law would require all reports of suspected child abuse be referred to law enforcement.
They believe that this will create a working relationship between them and CPS agents. They want to know right away when this stuff is happening. So tragedies like this do not happen.
It honors Zoe Schaefer, a 4-year-old from northern Wisconsin who was abused and died from an alcohol overdose. On a party lines vote, lawmakers in Madison are sending the governor a package of bills dubbed the Red Tape Reset.
The legislation aims to cut down on administrative rulemaking that's currently in state law. Republican State Senator Julian Bradley says the bills include regulatory sunsetting and budgeting.
We are the second most regulated state in the Midwest. We are 13th most regulated state in the entire nation. And we're going to make sure that citizens get reimbursed who successfully challenge unconstitutional or unlawful rules.
The measures came out of a task force organized by Assembly Speaker Robin Voss. Governor Evers has not indicated if he'll sign them. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Valentine's Day means lots of leftover chocolates for many. Chief Health Policy Advisor for Milwaukee County, Dr. Ben Weston, says one kind of chocolate is better for you than others. He tells Wisconsin's Midday News.
The potential benefits of chocolate really are the dark chocolate. It's not so much the milk chocolate. And it's because of that high cocoa content. Really 70% or more is what you're looking for. Yes, it has antioxidants. These are called flavonols. They help improve blood flow. Maybe they help with blood pressure. They might even lower cholesterol.
Weston says despite the benefits, he would not recommend dark chocolates as a health food. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 9:03.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert with my son David, president of AccuNet. David, we're pre-approving a lot of home shoppers this time of year. Why should someone choose AccuNet for their pre-approval?
Dad, getting pre-approved with just any lender is like showing up to a first date in sweatpants. Sure, you're there, but are you really ready to impress? Our rock-solid pre-approval is like showing up in your best outfit with reservations already made. We also have an excellent reputation among real estate agents, so having AccuNet's name on your pre-approval can make the difference.
What else?
In addition to clearly stating we verified your credit, income, and down payment, we'll also run the specific home you're looking to buy through our underwriting software to see if we can approve your loan without an appraisal, which sellers and their agents absolutely love. Bottom line, we do everything possible to help you win.
Thanks, David. Don't settle for anything less. Get started with your rock-solid pre-approval by clicking on the blue button today at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One collection?
Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush-mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kesslers nearest you,
Visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Bucks enter the All-Star break, winning 5 of their last 6 games, including Thursday's night's victory over the defending champion, the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're back at it Friday in New Orleans against the Pelicans. Badger basketball defeated Michigan State on Friday, winning 92-71. Their next matchup is in Ohio State on Tuesday at 7:30. Badger Sports Updates are sponsored by Siding Unlimited, Siding, and a whole lot more. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic on I-43 north about a mile and a half beyond a ramp from Port Washington. The right shoulder is blocked due to a few disabled vehicles. It seems like there is a lot of towing going on, maybe a disabled vehicle on that right shoulder there. Just be mindful of that, as there's a lot of commotion going on in that right shoulder there. Otherwise, it's looking pretty clear across the rest of the system.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Here's your WTMJ forecast today. Partly cloudy skies with the high of around 50, and tonight partly cloudy this evening, then becoming cloudy after midnight with a low of 35. Monday, mostly sunny with the high of 55. Tuesday, cloudy with the high of 41. Wednesday, morning showers with a high of 54 and a low of 32. And Thursday, afternoon showers are possible. Right now in Madison, it is 37. In Green Bay, 31. In Waukesha, 41. And in Milwaukee, 40 degrees. I'm Nazir Spencer, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 9:07.
This is Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins. And now it's time for New at 9.
Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game.
I'm Libby Collins. I guess it's going to be a good old hockey game with the women taking to the ice in the Olympics. And we've got Nicole Hasse. You probably remember Nicole. She is a contestant from Jeopardy whose specialty was not just women's sports. It was hockey. And she joins us right now. She's a freelance writer here in Milwaukee. And this is huge, Nicole. The women's hockey team is just... It's amazing how well they're doing. How many scores have they had so far during the games?
They're outscoring opponents 26-1.
Oh my gosh! I mean, because it's hockey, it's hard to score to begin with, but that's just amazing. Now they're into the semifinals, and let's give a breakdown as to what that means.
Yeah, so they haven't lost, as I said. They've barely given up a goal, so they advanced through the quarterfinals. They will play Sweden tomorrow in the semifinals. Win or lose, they'll be playing for medal. If they win, they go to the gold medal game. If they lose, they go to the bronze medal game.
And what I find interesting, and one of the reasons we have you here, is because of the number of Badgers who are on not just the U.S. women's hockey team, but also the Canadian team, and it looks like they might face off in the finals.
Yeah, that's sort of how it's been for many Olympics to go. The North American teams are just a little bit of a step ahead of the two. But yeah, there are 4 current Badgers on the U.S. team, but overall there are several alumni on both. I think it's 11 Badgers between the two teams, U.S. and Canada.
So what do you expect to happen? I mean, I'm assuming you think the U.S. is going to beat Sweden tomorrow.
Yes, I mean, it's a tough game for them. It should be a really physical game. Sweden has been in the bottom group, but that they're much more talented than that gives them credit for. And so I think that'll be a tougher game than maybe people would expect. But yeah, I expect that it'll be U.S. and Canada in the gold medal game. And while Canada has had a rough tournament, I feel like it's one of those things where it does, all the stuff that came before doesn't matter when it comes to those two teams. sort of the biggest rivals in sports. They've only ever had each other to sort of fight against. And I, as someone who has watched the U.S. win or lose some very close Olympic gold medals to Canada over the last few Olympic Games, I am certainly skeptical. I'm scared to get too excited about it.
Are you really?
The U.S., Oh, I am. I really am, because the U.S. has been ahead. And in 2014, they pretty much had that game in the bag. They hit a post, and then Canada came back and won that game in overtime. And so I'm worried to get too excited about it.
How many of the women on the current U.S. team are veterans that they've played in the Olympics before?
It's about half. So it's a good mix, that team of the younger players, and even two of the collegians actually were on the team in 2022. So it's a good mix between players that have been there before and the rookies. And so the rookies haven't been playing like they're at all scared of what's happening or at all unprepared for the spotlight that's on them.
So what do you watch for? I mean, what matchups do you plan to keep your eye on? And is there any particular focus that you have on the games here in the next day or two?
Sure. In the U.S. semifinal with Sweden, both teams are pretty physical, and in women's hockey, there can be contact, but there's not body checking the way that there is in the men's game, and I actually really like that. I think it makes for a smoother, prettier game. But if the officials don't call it correctly, or if the game gets a little out of control and it ends up on a special teams back and forth, I think that could really change the way that the game might turn out. I think the U.S. needs to score on the power play, and they have to have great goaltending. They have so far, but they also haven't been super tested. And Switzerland is playing Canada in the other semifinal, and Switzerland got there with an upset of Finland yesterday on the back of really stellar goaltending. Their goalie, I think, had like 80 saves over her last two games. So if they play really solid in net, Canada has not adjusted very well. So I will be looking for Canada to adjust throughout the game. And if they aren't doing that, then they are in danger, I think, of being upset. So those are the things that I'll be watching for.
We're talking with Nicole Haase. She is a freelance sports writer here in Milwaukee. Nicole, excuse my naivete, but what happens to a women's hockey player after the Olympics? Is there a professional women's hockey team out there?
There is. The PWHL is a professional women's hockey league. It's in its third year, and there are 8 teams. So they are on a month-long break, as pretty much every Olympian that plays or plays professionally there or every team has several women playing at the Olympics. And then, as I said, there's a bunch of collegians. So several women will go back and play in the NCAA. So between the two, but the PWHL, their games are free on YouTube, so people should pay attention and go looking for those. I will share a bunch of that on my social media, but also you can find that from me at Victory Press. But yes, the PWHL is a somewhat new professional league, but has been spectacular. It's the sort of league that these professional players or these top tier players have been looking for most of their careers. And so they'll be heading back to that and finishing out their season.
And what draws you to watching women's hockey personally? Why is this kind of an obsession for you? Because I don't know anybody who's more excited about these games than you.
Well, I grew up playing soccer, and I was 18 when the 99 World Cup happened, and suddenly people cared about soccer, and I was like, well, where have you been? And so it's been great to see the rise of that. And so when I discovered hockey a few years later, I just saw a lot of parallels. And so for me, it was about making sure that the players growing up playing this game got the attention that I didn't get, and girls my age didn't get when we were little. Like, soccer has really grown, but also I just think it's very it's a finesse game, because they're not just running into each other and sort of checking each other off the puck. So it's very fluid and smooth and pretty. I love when I'm at a game, sort of sitting up high and watching the way that the players sort of weave in and out of each other. It's just, it's really a unique game to me, and I just really appreciate sort of the history. I mean, back when I started watching in the early 2000s, until now, we've seen, their current Badger, they're literal collegiate players playing in the Olympics, and then they'll come back and you can go, well, the Badgers are pretty sold out, but when they go back to a lot of their collegiate teams, you can go watch for $5-10 a game, and I just thought that's amazing that what these student athletes are doing. So mostly it was a lot of being really impressed and wishing more people were paying attention.
And when can we watch that game tomorrow for the semifinals with the United States and Sweden?
The semifinals tomorrow, the first one is at 9:40 local time, and that is the U.S. and Sweden. And then the Canada-Swiss game is at 2:10 locally, and they have been on USA Network. And they're also all on Peacock, yeah.
If the U.S. makes it to the finals, when is that game scheduled?
The gold medal game is at 12:10 on the 19th. So that is Thursday, right? Yes, 12:10 on Thursday.
It's going to be an exciting week for women's hockey. Nicole Haase, can't thank you enough for joining us today. And by the way, if you want to hear our WTMJ conversation with Nicole, where she tells us all about her Jeopardy adventure, and trust me, it was an adventure, go to WTMJ.com, and we've got it posted on that website. Nicole, thanks for joining us today. It's always great to talk with you.
Thanks for having me.
It's 9:16 on WTMJ. We're up to 40 degrees. It's going to be 50 for a high today. And coming up next, do you want to be a sap? We'll tell you how after this.
What does meaningful giving really look like? Join Annex Wealth Management for our Women in Wealth series, Giving from the Heart, where purpose meets tax planning, on February 19th in Brookfield. Enjoy dinner, refreshments, and an engaging evening on giving with intention. Hear from a local panel of nonprofit leaders as they explore today's philanthropic trends, smart charitable strategies, and how your giving can reflect your values and legacy.
Hi, I'm Maggie Tate-Techman, Executive Director at Haws. I hope to see you on February 19th. Reserve your spot on the events page at annexwealth.com.
Your European experts at Fox World Travel are ramping up and busy as ever. When you want to see more of Europe, Princess Cruises delivers. With Princess Cruises and Fox World Travel, explore iconic Mediterranean ports by day, then relax in classic comfort by night. From immersive shore excursions to destination-inspired dining, every moment is designed to feel effortless. Ready to set sail on your Mediterranean adventure? Call 866-GO-FOX-GO or visit foxworldtravel.com to book your European getaway.
With the help of Less's Glass, you can have the shower you've always wanted. Heavy glass shower enclosures from Less's Glass are installed by the best in the business. And when you have a showroom to visit with over a dozen glass shower enclosures on display, there's no guessing games. See the ultimate in frameless shower design with doors mounted on smooth as silk, stainless steel barn-style rollers. This design combines the beauty and elegance of heavy glass with a minimalist look to create an ideal shower enclosure for tight spaces. Premium shower doors and custom-designed all-glass enclosures. When you work with Less's Glass, you're working with a company that really can do it all. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Approaching Wisconsin's 5th season. It's also known as maple sugaring season. Wisconsin has a rich tradition of maple sugaring. It's a process that dates back well before we became a state. And joining us on our WTMJ hotline is Sharon Cross. She is the Director of Development of the River Edge Nature Center. First of all, tell us, how do we know it's maple sugaring season, Sharon?
Well, we know it's maple sugaring season when the temperature during the day is above freezing and at night gets below freezing, and that allows the sap to move up the tree and into the branches so we can get it flowing.
Okay, so tell us exactly, how do you turn sap?
That's a great question. We tap over 435 trees here at River Edge. You put a spile in the tree, and then you wait for that tap water to come out, and then we cook it down for a long time. You need about 40 gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of maple syrup.
Now, you mentioned a spile. What is that?
A spile is a little pipe that you can hammer into the tree, and it helps the sap flow out.
How many trees does it take to make that 1 cup of syrup?
It depends on the weather, but you could make syrup just from 1 maple tree.
Do only maple trees produce syrup?
No, lots of trees produce syrup, but sugar maples have the highest sugar content, so you're able to get syrup a little faster than if you were using sap from other types of trees, and it just has a sweeter taste.
We are talking with Sharon Cross from the River Edge Nature Center. They're having events for maple sugaring season. And tell us about some of the events you're going to be having, Sharon.
We're really excited to share that some of this work is fueled by Cole's Healthy Families. We have our Maple Sugaring Festival. That is on March 14th. It costs just $5. We see over 1,000 people come to learn about how to tap trees, do arts and crafts, and get a pancake with a pickle, which is the River Edge way. And then we also have our pancake breakfast that is on
Wait. I'm going to stop you right there. Why do you have a pickle with the pancake?
It has been a River Edge staple for over 50 years. So when you come to River Edge for anything related to maple sugaring, our festival or a pancake breakfast or a field trip even, everybody walks away having tasted a pancake made from a special recipe just for River Edge, and then syrup with a pickle. It's a unique quirk here at River Edge and is a long-standing tradition.
All right. I want to go back to the maple trees where you said that you take this implement and you put it into the tree. Can anybody do that at home?
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone can do that at home, and we're actually doing a family tapping day on February 28th if folks are interested in learning how to do that. But if you have a sugar maple, you can go get the kit. We also have some YouTube videos online so you can learn how to tap at home.
And where is the River Edge Nature Center?
River Edge is located in Saukville. We're just about 30 minutes north of Milwaukee.
So if you want to get more information and find out more about maple sugaring season and all of the events going on, where do we go, Sharon?
You can go to riveredgenaturecenter.org. We have all of the information online on our website there.
I'm going to have a pickle with my pancakes next time around. Sharon, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, and let me know how it tastes.
And you know what? You learn something new every day. Our producer, Isaac Marcourt. Isaac, you do this. This is something you've done for years. You've gone out and you've tapped maple trees for syrup?
Yeah, this is a family tradition for us. My family has a plot of land out in the woods in central Wisconsin, and they have a whole shack with pans to boil the sap, and it's a whole process.
Yeah, and you've actually tapped trees.
Oh
personally.
Yeah. I grew up tapping trees and collecting sap. You know, it was a couple times a week and every weekend for the later half of winter and early spring, all throughout my childhood.
So do you just stand there and watch the sap come out? I mean, how does that work?
Sometimes. It depends on the weather, to be honest. A day like today is perfect for it because you need colder nights but then warmer days. That really gets the sap flowing. And, we really upgraded our operation quite a bit. When I was a kid, we just had metal buckets hanging from the spigot that was in the tree, whereas now we've got hoses running to plastic buckets that are all kind of in centralized locations. And it's, like I said, it's a whole thing. It's a whole operation they've got running.
How much syrup do you get from these trees?
Ooh, I don't know if I could give you a very good estimation, but definitely, 15, 20, 25 gallons in a season.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot of syrup.
It is a lot of syrup.
Last question.
Yeah.
Have you ever had your pancakes and syrup with a pickle?
I have not, but that sounds fantastic to me, so I'm going to have to try it.
All right, let us know how it works out for you.
All right.
It's 9:24 on WTMJ.
You've spent a lifetime taking care of others. Now it's your turn to enjoy life your way. At Capri Communities, they offer vibrant senior living where neighbors become friends, and each day brings something to smile about.
Well, it's breakfast with the boys, and then bingo is at 3 in the afternoon. I lost that super lady I lived with for 60 years, but have found a home and doing well. The accommodations, the facilities, it's been a pleasure.
Find your perfect new home at capricommunities.com.
3 generations ago, it was about doing one thing and doing it right.
Hardwood, tile, carpet, floors that had to last because our name, Adair, was on them. Over time, homeowners asked us to do more. Kitchens, bathrooms, full remodels. And so our name changed to Adair Floors and Remodeling.
But flooring has always been the foundation, literally.
And it's something the next generation already understands.
Hi, I'm Ava. Hi, I'm Quinn. My dad does floors.
From hardwood and luxury vinyl plank to tile and carpet, we handle selection, layout, and professional installation.
And because we also remodel homes, we know how flooring works with everything else. Transitions, finishes, and long-term durability.
When you hire Adair, you're getting experience you can stand on and people who will be here for decades to come.
Call my dad. Bye-bye.
Adair Floors and Remodeling. Built on flooring, trusted for remodels. 3 generations, 1 standard. Call us at 414-761-3660 for your free flooring estimate.
The following is a paid presentation. Advice and opinions expressed during the Sunday Sip are solely that of the hosts or guests and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC.
Welcome to the Sunday Sip. I'm your host, Julia Fellow. How about this morning we redefine what a senior lifestyle looks like, including if someone you love needs specialized memory care. We have with us Jennifer LeBoy and Michelle Grawl with the Waters of Pewaukee. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Julia.
Thank you. Jennifer, within the Waters of Pewaukee Memory Care, I've heard about the Petals program. What is that?
Our Petals program is fabulous. It is a signature memory care program at the Waters. And what that program does, Julia, is that focuses on each resident's life story. We personalize care around their routines, their interests to create meaningful connections and a sense of purpose every day.
And Jennifer, alongside you is the Waters of Pewaukee, Michelle, who solely focuses on the Waters Petals program. So, Michelle, let's say a memory care patient loves a piano. What do you do then? Do you have a detailed bio that caregivers are filling out when they first come in?
We do, and that's a very paramount part of our whole process. So if somebody first walks in, we have the family fill out a life questionnaire, a life story. It's a very comprehensive biography, but it's so much more than just that. We ask very pointed questions about all their activities. What do they enjoy? What have they enjoyed in the past? What do they like to talk about? What may help provide calming to them when they are agitated?
What's interesting is that you have a great instance of this actually working in a real scenario.
Absolutely. We had a situation with a resident that was brought to our attention. This resident was having some issues with sundowning. That happens. That's quite common with Alzheimer's and getting some agitation and things. And we brought this to Michelle and said, what can we do? And we got together and we brainstormed, and then Michelle came up with some ideas for coaching and for training.
Like this person lived near a lake.
Correct.
Or ways to do some calming. And I love the in-person training that you have, including a dementia simulation.
Correct. So we start out doing a dementia simulation training. So every, again, team member goes through that. We know that we are very sympathetic of somebody who has dementia, but you really can't develop empathy until you are walking in that person's shoes, even somewhat. So we basically set up an apartment, put a lot of different elements in that apartment, and we try to simulate someone who has vision loss, someone who has hearing loss, maybe they have neuropathy. So there's all different modalities we use. And when the team members go through this, they say, oh my goodness, I need to change my approach. So it really does build that empathy in all of us.
I love that. So I'm thinking about the caregiver or the spouse of someone who needs memory care. What happens to them?
Right. That's very common, Julia. We have couples that reside at the Waters, and we see sometimes that one of the spouses may need a different level of care. That may mean moving to our Petals neighborhood, while the spouse may not need that level of care. And at the Waters, we can accommodate that. And what that means is they are still in the community, still under the same roof, but still able to be together.
So, Michelle, what are some signs that someone may have advanced Alzheimer's or dementia?
First and foremost, you will see that short-term memory deficit. You will see them stating the same things over and over and asking questions over and over. Also, maybe a change in their personal hygiene. They used to be very well kept. You see more stains on their clothing, or they're not changing their clothing. Mm-hmm. Also, losing and misplacing things frequently. Just the safety concerns. With that memory deficit, just do I have to worry about mom or dad leaving the stove on when they leave the home?
Michelle, all of this must be so fulfilling to make sure that families feel their loved ones safe. What do you love most about your career at the Waters?
I love a lot. I love everything, but mostly just having that ability to provide ongoing education to every team member and then modeling successful approaches to dementia care and communication when I'm back with the residents and the other team members, and then coaching all team members just to really build up their skills so that we all have that confidence and we can see our residents bloom where they are.
And Jennifer, I want to ask the same. What do you love most about your career at the Waters?
First and foremost is meeting with families and being able to, at minimum, saying, here is what I do know, here is how I can help guide, and make sure that everybody has all the information that they need to make the best decision for their loved one.
Yeah, and you said that working at the Waters, your whole career has been with this. Is it totally different than anywhere else?
The Waters is different anywhere else I have worked, and one of the main things is this Petals program, where they have taken this dementia training to the group as a whole, committed to saying, hey, this is what we're seeing, and we need to take care of this population and be better for it. It's pretty fabulous that the Waters does this.
So, Jennifer, what's the first step families should take to connect with you?
Absolutely. Well, the first step I would suggest is to head to thewaters.com and click on the Waters of Pewaukee location. I'd be happy to give you a personal tour. You could also call the community directly and ask for myself. We could set up a time for a visit.
What are the reactions when families take a tour?
When I'm back in the Petals neighborhood and I see a family walk in, I will look at their face, and after interacting with them, I pretty much know right away that they are very happy with what they are seeing.
I would second what Michelle says, too. People that come to the Waters have done some research. They usually know what they're looking for, and again, I'm there to guide to make sure we're in the right place, and they walk in and it's, wow, this is going to be a great place for my loved one.
The Petals Signature Memory Care Program is exclusive to the Waters, designed to honor and celebrate your loved one's life story, so it's easier for them to bloom where they are in their journey. Head to thewaters.com, thewaters.com. Jennifer LeBoy and Michelle Grau, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's 4 walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
A buck in today's world doesn't go far unless you're spending it at Griffin. Because for just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. Buy one or a whole set. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand. We'll put you in new tires for just $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. That's right, $1 over cost, and we'll even show you the invoice to prove it. So what's the catch? There's really no catch. You don't have to buy a car or a truck from us. We'd like it if you did, but our only requirement is we put them on for you. Buy 1, 2, or a set of 4. The $1 deal at Griffin. Available at Griffin Chrysler Jeep South, 27th Street, and Griffin Ford Waukesha. The $1 deal at Griffin. Make your dollar go further. Griffin, the buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. $1 over cost. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
It's 9:34. We've got Nazir Spencer in the WTMJ Breaking News Center. Nazir, a lot of people are wondering about that crash overnight just a little bit south of AmFam. Do you have any more details on that one?
Yes, thank you, Libby. Milwaukee police are investigating a rollover crash on Milwaukee's south side. It happened around 3 this morning near South 36th Street and West Mitchell Street, just south of American Family Field. The Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office confirms it was called to the scene, which typically indicates a possible fatality. The investigation is ongoing. Milwaukee police are investigating a non-fatal shooting involving a 14-year-old. Officers were called around 8 Saturday night to North 66th Street and West Ruby Avenue. Police say the teen was shot and taken to the local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Investigators are still searching for unknown suspects, and no arrests have been made. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. No major issues, no major delays across the system.
Traffic is sponsored by Angela Calais and Benefit Realty.
At Benefit Realty, pay only 3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission and get all the service that you should. Benefit Realty, you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com.
Here's your WTMJ forecast. Today, partly cloudy skies with a high of around 50. And tonight, partly cloudy this evening, then becoming cloudy after midnight and a low near 35 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, it is 40 degrees. I'm Night Deer Spencer, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 9:35.
Nothing's more beautiful than a child's smile. We'll tell you how to keep it that way after this.
For a senior lifestyle where comfort meets community, welcome to the waters of Pewaukee. WTMJ's Julia Fellow here. I want you to enjoy beautiful, spacious apartments, chef-prepared meals, and enriching daily activities that bring you joy and purpose. Whether it's independent living, assisted care, or memory support, you will find compassionate staff, modern, beautiful amenities, and the peace of mind you deserve at the waters of Pewaukee. You are not just moving in, you are coming home. Schedule a tour and learn more today at thewaters.com.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul. You're gonna love it all when you shop at St. Vincent de Paul. Old things, new things here for you. We're always changing, we're always new. So many friendly people, smiles from wall to wall. You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul. You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Welcome back to the final half hour of Wisconsin Weekend Morning News. I'm Libby Collins at 9:38. It's difficult to comprehend, but are you aware approximately 84,000 children in the greater Milwaukee area are struggling to access dental care? Joining us on our WTMJ hotline is Scott Marshall. He's the CEO of Community Smiles Dental. And Scott, tell us a little bit about your clinic, because this is a not-for-profit.
Yes, we're a nonprofit organization. We like to think that what we provide is actually the dental home for thousands of children and individuals with special needs right here in southeast Wisconsin. What we do is we see those folks who either don't have insurance or rely on state insurance and otherwise don't have another option to be able to see the dentist, get their regular checkups, and get taken care of.
What services do you provide?
What we provide is the regular preventative and restorative care. If you're a parent like I am, and you're thinking about bringing your child to see the dentist, it's bringing them in and they get their teeth checked, they get their teeth cleaned, and then we're not rooting for it, but if one of the kids has a cavity, we'll make sure to get that cavity filled. And we also do crowns. And so we really do that usual care that you would see at any pediatric clinic, but we're doing it mostly for kids who otherwise don't have another option.
And what ages do you cover?
With kids, it's 0 through 18, but if it's an individual with special needs, we'll see any age.
We're talking with Scott Marshall. He's the CEO of Community Smiles Dental. It's a not-for-profit which provides dental care for children. You mentioned Medicaid. Do you have to be Medicaid eligible in order to bring your child to the clinic?
Well, that's really the area that we aim to fill in the dental ecosystem is either the family doesn't have insurance at all or they have Medicaid, which is an insurance plan through the state that for the provider for the dental clinic, we get reimbursed, but the reimbursement level in Wisconsin is very low. It's between 25 and 35 cents on the dollar. And so a for-profit dental clinic would lose money every time they see one of those patients. And so that's where we fit in because as a nonprofit, we're able to fundraise to make up that difference. And so we can create that opportunity for a parent to bring their child in to see a dentist, and we can afford to do it because we fundraise to make up the difference.
Now, I understand that you currently have 2 clinics. One's in Waukesha. There's another in Menominee Falls, but you're getting ready to open a third one.
Yes, we were born in Waukesha. We're the result of some very caring school nurses in the Waukesha School District back in the day in 2007 who saw that more and more kids were coming to see them, and it was clear that they had not been seeing the dentist, and so they had reached out to some local dentists and asked for them to help. And of course, they said yes. But then it's that thing where, you know, if you buy a blue car, you see blue cars everywhere. And once they were focused on that, they saw more and more kids clearly had this need. And so between the local dentists and Waukesha Memorial Hospital getting involved, the idea of Community Smiles Dental was born here in Waukesha. We opened in 2008 at our mothership on Barstow and St. Paul. And then we opened up a second clinic in Menominee Falls and Appleton Avenue in 2017. And so we've been able to serve a little less than 5,000 kids actually last year between those 2 clinics, but the need is still great. And so many of those parents are visiting us from 30 minutes, even 60 minutes away, coming to one of those 2 clinics. And so what we need to do is we need to go where there's a lot more need and not a lot of opportunity. And so opening up a clinic in Milwaukee is the next step that makes the most sense for us.
Scott, tell us about the staff at Community Smiles and also about an upcoming event on April 9th.
Our dentists, our dental hygienists, and our dental assistants are all fully paid. It's a little bit different than what you would think of for a nonprofit dental clinic because we have that continuity, and that allows for our dentists and our hygienists, many of whom have been with us for more than 10 years, to really get to know their patients. And the patients know and trust their dentists because those are the same ones that they see every time. And our staff also knows the needs of our patients and how they can make them feel comfortable. And so that's something we're very proud of, that we fully pay our dental staff. But one of the ways that we get the word out about what we're doing and are able to fundraise to be able to take care of these kids and make up the difference of that Medicaid reimbursement is fundraising. And so it's really exciting that we have our spring fundraiser. It's on April 9th at Brookfield Conference Center, and it's called Laugh for Smile, which is such a wonderful thing because there's so many amazing events and galas out there for nonprofits. But I love the fact that what we do is we have a stand-up comedian as the entertainer for this event. And so it's not just, you know, a night out for good. It's a fun night out, period. And so this year we have Derek Hughes. He is a magician and a stand-up comedian, so it's going to be very interactive. He's been on America's Got Talent and a lot of other television shows. I've seen his YouTube stuff, and I cannot wait, but I will say that I'm a little nervous if I get pulled up on stage because I feel like he's going to pull some very fun tricks on me if I go up there. But it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, and again, you'll all be smiling on April 9th with that big show in Brookfield. And again, let's thank Scott Marshall from Community Smiles Dental. And if we want to get more information about the clinics, where do we go?
Yeah, you can just simply go to communitysmiles.org, or you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and we even have a TikTok channel, so you can go check out what's going on in the clinic on TikTok too.
Scott Marshall, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it, Libby.
And it's 9:42 on WTMJ.
Menard's 11% rebate is here. From lighting to lumber, from doors to floors. The bigger the project, the bigger the rebate. From painting projects to that new kitchen makeover and designing that outdoor space of your dreams. Save big on any project you're tackling. Hurry into Menard's for an 11% rebate on everything. Mail-in rebate is a merchandise credit check, not a point-of-sale discount. Redeemable on future in-store purchases only. Not on future purchases on Menards.com. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA, best-selling author and founder of the Neal Group. Well, here we are. It's 2026. Remember last year when you said never again? Did it work? You didn't start your business to spend so much time doing bank reconciliations, cash flow projections, or inventory analysis. Let us help you keep your New Year resolution to stay on top of your finances and keep your books up to date. Don't do the same thing this year and expect different results. Start the year off on the right foot by calling the Neal Group to help you understand your numbers and make them better. You earned it. We help you keep it. Call 414-325-2040 now to set up a meeting to see how you can make 2026 the best year ever. The first meeting is free. That's 414-325-2040 or visit us at nealgroup.net. That's NEAL group.net.
Education changes everything. It opens doors, shapes futures, and builds the foundation for our children's success. At City Forward Collective, we're working to transform our city's schools and ensure every Milwaukee child receives the high-quality education they deserve. We've taken real steps forward, but our work is far from done. This giving season, we're asking you to join us. Together, we can secure a stronger future for our children and a stronger future for Milwaukee. To support our mission, visit cityforwardcollective.org/donate. That's cityforwardcollective.org/donate.
On this President's Day weekend, we might think about a president's greatest accomplishment, or maybe even where he was born. But how many of us think about where that president might be buried? Retired Kenosha police officer Russell Beckman has visited all but one presidential gravesite, and he told me about the most impressive final resting place he's ever seen.
What's the most elaborate presidential gravesite?
Warren Harding, for example.
Warren Harding? When you think of presidents, Warren Harding is not the first name that comes to mind.
That's why I brought it up, because he's in Marion, Ohio, and there is a Colosseum designed after the Roman Colosseum. It's huge. It's in what is now surrounded by a park, and you can access this. It doesn't have a roof on it. He's buried in the center of him and his wife, and he wanted to be able to look at the sky. But I'm thinking Warren Harding is obscure, but yet he has this huge cathedral that he built to himself. And I thought to myself, that maybe might be a little overdone.
Well, if you spend any time at a cemetery, you may have a deep and personal recollection about the people who were buried there. Russell, who's visited all the presidential gravesites except for one, revealed the gratitude he felt for one of the most unpopular men to ever hold that office.
What's the most interesting experience you've had when you've visited one of these gravesites?
I really had a connection with Richard Nixon. Nixon is somewhat despised by a lot of people, but I visited his gravesite, and I remember very well being 12 years old, watching him give a speech in August of 1974 where he resigned the presidency. And then the next day when he said goodbye to his staff from the East Room of the White House, and he gave this speech, and I listened to it. As a 12-year-old, I was an absolute nerd when it came to current events. He ended up saying a line in his speech that was really kind of incredible. Unless you've been in the deepest valley, you could not appreciate the magnificence of the highest mountain. And those words really stuck with me. And I was there with Richard Nixon sitting at his grave. I literally thanked him for sharing those words with me.
Tomorrow is President's Day, and I can't think of a more apropos guest for conversations today. As a matter of fact, Russell Beckman, he visited every single presidential gravesite except for one, and he's going to tell you which one he's yet to see. And you're going to hear why the White House Quarterly Magazine published an article about the places he's gone. He tells you everything, where all the presidents are buried and how the graves are a reflection of the men who are there. And that's all this morning at 11 o'clock on WTMJ Conversations. It's 9:48 and 44 degrees at WTMJ.
Before you go looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll find a formidable selection of Oriental, Persian, and other wool area rug choices at 25 to 70% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
In Heartland, you're going to find a focus on distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original artwork, along with tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. In Pewaukee, the focus is on kitchen, outdoor, and garden decor, and all of it is priced at 25 to 40% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value.
Design Exchange.
St. Anne's Center for Intergenerational Care switched from a previous vendor to business technology from James Imaging Systems. Why? CFO Sally Parente.
The service, the value, and the ease with which we can just keep using their service and not having any big headaches. It's not just all about the money. We're getting value here as well.
Robert Prang, CIO with Tri-City National Bank, likes the fact that James Imaging is local.
So being able to work with a local company like James that has that flexibility with their staff and being able to deliver for us has given us the ability to make the right decisions for our organization.
And Junior Achievement of Wisconsin VP of Enterprise Services, Lori Salzman, had this advice for others.
If anybody is looking for a good partner that is there to help find solutions, call James Imaging.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
Experience an auto show like never before. The Milwaukee Auto Show hits the road with new dates and a new easy access, easy to park location. Clear your calendar. May 14th through 17th at the Wisconsin State Fair Park and Expo Center. Whether shopping or just dreaming, you'll see sleek luxury cars to rugged trucks and everyday favorites. Hundreds of new vehicles. May 14th through 17th at the Wisconsin State Fair Park and Expo Center. AutoShowMilwaukee.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
It's that time of year when traditional McDonald's meals get elevated, and Linda Welsh, President and CEO of Sharp Literacy, is with us on the WTMJ hotline to talk about Unwrapped Waukesha 2026. And Linda, you've been doing this for 10 years in Milwaukee. 5 years now in Waukesha. You get all of these wonderful chefs. You give them only McDonald's ingredients, and they turn this into a gourmet feast. But what's it like for those chefs as they're working out these menu items?
You know, it's really amazing to see these chefs and how excited they get and how serious they get, but they also have fun with it. So they receive a list of McDonald's ingredients that are available to them. And it's everything from eggs to butter to chicken McGriddles, and just to see their creativity. And we have some chefs this year that are friends with each other. So it's almost going to be kind of maybe like a chop this year, that they're competing against each other, but also supporting each other.
You know, we've all tried McDonald's at one point or another, and it definitely has a distinct flavor no matter what you get there. Do you notice that there's a real difference with some of the dishes that they prepare that you really can't tell that it's from McDonald's?
Oh my gosh, I would say all of them. The creativity that they come up with. And it's interesting because I've been around for all 15 years, 10 Milwaukee and 5 Waukesha, and there hasn't been one item that's been second time around. Again, the creativity and the excitement, and they take this very, very seriously, which is great too.
We're talking with Linda Welsh from Sharp Literacy. Tell us about some of the dishes to expect at Unwrapped Waukesha this year.
We have 6 chefs this year. Chef Lee Christensen from Bryant's on the Round, and he is making a cheesy Big Mac soup with savory croutons, which sounds delicious. Chef Bryant Johnson from Bryant's Delsman House, and this one sounds really great too, sweet and spicy Asian filet of fish, wontons with wasabi and creamy Napa cabbage slaw. We have Chef Joe Agfen from Kickswitch. He is Philly-style chicken McCheese steak with onions and peppers. And then we have Chef Tony Valente from the Carriage House, and he is making a tangy roladin with meatballs and dumplings snacker with some tangy sauce. And then we have Chef Morgan Perry from Daybreak Meats and Deli, sweet and savory apple and sausage McGriddle. And then our 6th chef is Chef Nate Rupnow from Bella Gusto, and he's making an all-American Big Mac-style cheeseburger pizza. So it's just a little bit of everything.
This is going on at the Carriage House at Lac La Belle on February 22nd. Where do the proceeds go for this, Linda?
Sure. The proceeds go to continuing our programming in Waukesha and even hopefully expansion. So we've been out in Waukesha for close to 5 years. So the proceeds will help us continue to bring our program into the schools at no cost to the schools and hopefully even expand them.
Well, I know one of the things that you really enjoy about this is a real family-friendly event.
It is. This is especially on a Sunday in February. It's perfect timing. And what we're going to be doing at the carriage house is for the kids, we're going to have a hot chocolate bar. How fun is that? So they get hot chocolate and we'll have all kinds of things for them to mix into the hot chocolate. Marshmallows, peppermint sticks, and I think there's 6 different toppings, which is great. And also we'll have our talented staff working with students or working with the kids in a separate space so the parents can be enjoying themselves and eating and maybe having a beverage. And the kids will be doing friendship bracelets and some art activities. So very, very kid-friendly.
I have to ask you, how many of those kids just want plain McNuggets and not some of the chef-inspired dishes?
I know, they do. But, it's amazing. Some of these, like the cheesy Big Mac soup, I could imagine a kid liking that. And even the McCheese steak, apple and sausage McGriddle. Who doesn't love a McGriddle? So I think there'll be some kid-friendly items.
Well, this all goes on next Sunday, February 22nd. Let's tell everybody how we can get tickets.
Sure, yes, February 22nd at, again, Carriage House, which is just gorgeous at Lac La Belle. It's from 1 to 4, and they can buy tickets at sharpliteracy.org. And we have some just amazing auction items, which will go live on Monday. So if they can't attend, but they want to buy some auction items, they can do that online. And the same thing, it'll be sharpliteracy.org. And on the top of our homepage, just click on Unwrap.
What are some of the items you've got this year up for auction?
Oh, we have a Waterford wine tasting for $12. We have a really fun soup basket with all kinds of soup essentials and gift cards for the different soups and breads, a bourbon basket with some really, really unique and hard to find bourbon. We have wine basket. We'll have, I think, almost 20 silent auction items. In addition to those that attend, we'll have a gift card wall as well, and we'll have about 40 gift cards that people can purchase for places out in Waukesha.
And best of all of the proceeds from Unwrapped Waukesha are going to support Sharp's programs for hundreds of children in the Waukesha schools. Thanks, Linda.
Thanks. Have a good day.
It's 9:57, and you are going to have a taste of spring today. Cloudy, maybe partly cloudy out there, but you are going to get some sunshine. Our high is going to be around 50 degrees, maybe warmer in some surrounding areas. Then tonight, it's going to be about 35 for a low, but tomorrow, sunshine. 55 degrees. Tuesday, a little bit cooler, 41 under cloudy skies. But Wednesday, we get back up to the mid-50s with some showers in the morning. Those temperatures around the area, they just keep rising. Muskego is 45 degrees. Lake Geneva is at 45. Port Washington has 42. And we have 44 degrees at WTMJ. I'm Libby Collins. Thanks for joining us today. Coming up after the news, it's Reporter's Notebook with Adam Roberts. And then I'm back at 11 with a look at where all the presidents are buried and some background on them. It's all on WTMJ Conversations.
Recently, a seller that unfortunately ended up choosing an